Hello everybody, Dan Matichek here. Wanted to give you a update on the building of my home studio. And it's back to being a little bit more of a mess today, unfortunately, but for a good reason. And I am psyched. I want to show you. Ta-da! Lights everywhere. Lots of lights. So I got from my daughter's boyfriend, who is an electrician and actually works at the office where my wife works, got 3 8-foot fluorescent light fixtures for me. They were left over from a job they did. They didn't need them anymore. They were accounted for. So he says, if you want them, you know, if I want them, yeah. I was working in a dungeon down here, so I got 8 4-foot bulbs on each one of these. And I put the 3 fixtures up. I ran all my wires through the joist yesterday. Tore down the old ceiling that was down here since the house was built. It was falling down anyway, which actually came down really easy. And unfortunately now I have this stack. You know, we're looking 7 foot tall by about 6 foot wide of boxes crammed full of the ceiling tile and the rest of the garbage that came down, and a few other odds and ends. But it's all together now, other than sweeping up the floor. I'm good to go. A few other things I did, and I'd like to show you now real quick. I did a little reorganizing in my art supplies, and colored pencils, watercolors, chalk, watercolor paper, got some more colored pencils. More nice. These are really nice watercolors. If you do watercolors, by the way, German made, and it's a local store that has them at a really good price rather than buying them on the internet. Carving tools, more paper, paints, odds and ends, sculpting tools. So I'm good to go on all that stuff. Managed to make a mess of my nuts and bolts section, but doing all this, but that's all right. But now that there's all this light down here, I noticed the walls are really bad. I'm going to have to scrape the walls down and paint the walls. I have a bit of a moisture, not really problem down here, but it is always damp in the basement. So I'm concerned with it being too much moisture. I mean, I want the stuff to dry fairly slow, but but not this slow. So I made plaster drying bats, and what I did was, show you real quick, I got these oil drain pans. They're about 14, maybe 15 inches across at the, like maybe 1 inch, 1.25 level, which is how much I filled them up. And they were like $1.89 a piece. Got all those good to go. I got 5 of those, and then I got a mixing tub, and I got fiberglass in that, or plaster in that, which brings me to the fiberglass part. And quickly I want to give you a tip. There's a lot of things about pottery that I'm just learning. I can't give tips on that stuff because I am learning, but there are a few things that I've been doing over the years at work and professionally as an artist that may be of some help in that area. And one is from when I was a chef, wet hand, dry hand. When you're working with plaster, keep your right hand or your mixing hand, wet hand, always the same hand. Your dry hand for the plaster, your dry hand. You'll have a lot less mess on your hands to clean up. Just like when you're breading in a breading station for things that are deep fried, that's wet hand, dry hand. First thing you learn. The other thing from working with fiberglass, this fiberglass bat that I made for drying reclaimed and processing clay, it's about 3 inches thick. And it's going to be really strong when it's done. And I'll tell you what I did is I use my plaster and water. I found got 2 containers. One was twice as big as the other, so I have twice as much plaster as water. I'm doing it by volume. And then I have chopped fiberglass strands, and these are actually longer ones. They come different sizes, but these are about maybe 1 inch long. Each strand is actually hundreds of real thin strands of fiberglass held together by a real mild adhesive. So what I did was I took 6 cups of plaster and double that in water and about a cup of this, roughly a handful. And you mix the plaster and water first in the typical fashion, you know, adding your plaster to your water, and then it'll still be kind of lumpy. That's all right. As soon as it's halfway mixed, throw in your fiberglass. What happens is the fiberglass strands, through capillary action, start absorbing the plaster water and actually break up the lumps. It'll get real smooth and actually creamy in about 30 seconds of stirring, and break up all the lumps, and then you can go ahead and pour it. So it's actually very fast that way. The fiberglass is going to make it really strong. I'll have a double-sided bat for processing. I'm going to probably make maybe 2 or 3 of those, and then I'm going to build a shelf up above in my hood area. I'm going to put a shelf across near the top and open all the way around, just you know, basically pipes going across for drying out my my plaster bats after I use them. Well, that's about it for now. I got a few other really cool things that I did yesterday or this weekend as far as the studio, and I'll show you that in the next clip, and I think you're going to like what I did. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.